Hi, and welcome to Lee and G Outdoors. We are embarking on our summer 2021 road trip. We're traveling from southwest Missouri down to the Gulf Coast. We are stopping midway today because we don't want to push it. We're going to drive about 5 hours and stop for the night. So our first stop is going to be at a lake just south of Texarkana. And then from there, we're traveling down to Galveston, which is our first official stop. Well, as most road trips go, you have unexpected surprises. Ours started within 20 minutes of leaving the house. We got a notification on one of our tires. So we decided rather than to get stranded in the middle of nowhere, we would stop before we left civilization and get some new tires. And this is why we didn't want to push our travel time, because you gotta plan for the unexpected. I guess plan for the unplanned. Well, we are finally back on the road again. We lost an hour and a half at Walmart waiting for these new tires. However, now we have 4 brand new tires, and I guess losing an hour and a half at Walmart sitting under the air conditioner is better than losing an hour and a half or more on the side of the road in the heat. So it is what it is, but we're back on the road. At a sort of highly recommended rest stop. It's just north of Mena, Arkansas. It's called the Elm Park. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Elm Park Rest Area. Our little rest area here, just north of Mena, Arkansas, where we stopped for lunch. There we are. Has several different little spots, shaded, covered picnic tables, clean bathrooms. It's not really large, but it's really pretty area. And it's really cute. It's pretty small, but it's cute and clean, and it's shaded, so that's what you want out of a rest area. And the bathrooms were clean. So if you're ever traveling to Texarkana on whatever highway this is through Mena, I recommend you stop. To Rocky Point Park, just south of Texarkana. You can see we're kind of still disheveled. We haven't really organized yet, but this is our basic setup. As we said, we have guests with us. We are at site D25, which is pretty close to the swim beach, although I think it's closed right now because it's flooded. But you can see through there, right there's the lake. So we're in the drive with our rooftop tent, and we have all this space, plus, I mean, there's nobody this side of us except for the bathhouses. The spaces seem to be spaced out pretty well, really well, actually. You can see around us. Lots of shade, and it's very easy to get through from a main road, so. It's around 8:30 in the morning, and we're all loaded up and ready to hit the road. We're leaving Rocky Point Park, which is a really nice park. The sites are really spacious. There's a really nice big playground for the kids. There's a paved basketball hoop. There's a swim area, although anything else that would be considered beach area has large rocks in the way. So you can really only swim at the beach area. The swim area, and it's closed right now because this lake is flooded. So that was a bit of a bummer when we got in last night. It was so hot. There's also a volleyball net, and I guess they have a church service at 10 o'clock on Sundays. The bathhouse that we're by has like family style bathrooms, so family style showers with separate bathrooms, which they're adequate, you know, they're not the cleanest, but they're alright. They're not the worst either that we've stayed in. But as for us, I don't know what has happened to us for this trip. We've forgotten so many things at home. And then this morning I get up to cook breakfast. My propane stove lights up and then immediately goes back out. And we have a brand new bottle of propane, but we also have a brand new propane hose that we haven't tried out before, and I guess it's plugged. So we have to add that to our list of things to get today, or we're just gonna have to buy little canisters that hook up right to the stove. I don't know which, but I don't know. We're out of practice. We haven't camped since December. And we've gotten a lot of new things in our collection. Some of them we failed to pack. I don't know what's wrong with us. But day 2, hopefully will be better. We're back on the road with our first stop today being Walmart. Again, day number 2, first stop, Walmart. We stopped at a Texas rest area south of Lufkin, Texas for lunch. A really nice little stop. Really beautiful little rest area. Texas knows how to do their rest areas for sure. You haven't seen the ocean in how long?
15 years.
15 years. 15 years. 15 years. Gosh.
Yeah.
It's not quite the Atlantic, but it's close. We are at Freeport, south of Galveston. We're hoping to boondock on the beach. We've just unloaded the truck, but we're about to go stick our feet in the water before we start setting everything up. Man hasn't seen the ocean in 15 years. And he's got a piece of trash stuck to his leg. Oh my god, that's so funny. Here he goes into it. Well, the rest of us are in. Is he just gonna walk to England? So I said, is he gonna just keep walking? So funny. Earlier today, after we set camp up here at the beach, I was laying on the mat. I was just vibing, right? It's cool beach breeze on me. And I'd asked my son to put this table up. So he started to, and I guess he put the tabletop leaned against another tabletop. A wind gust caught it and it came crashing down on my face. On my face from like there, as you can see, down my face to my cheek. So now, for the rest of this vacation, I'm gonna look like someone's beat me up. And it hurts. Like we immediately put ice on it, but it's real tender, and I'm sure tomorrow it's gonna be black and blue. This camping trip has been something else, right? We've forgotten all the stuff at home. We've had to stop for tires. We had to stop for stuff this morning, and like our hose to our propane tank clogged up on it. I mean, it's just been one thing after another. And now this. We're too far to go home though. We're too far out. We're just gonna keep pushing on. But we got here to Brazoria County Public Beach, also known I think as Follett's Beach, where you can camp on the beach for free, I think up to 14 days. Obviously no amenities or anything, it's just dry camping, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let me take you on a tour. Alright, here's our setup for the night. I've got the camp table set up over there on the other side of the truck, behind our annex for our rooftop, so it's shielded from the wind a little bit so my propane would stay lit. And then the kids have their tent set up down here. We have this big mat, that's where I was laying. At the southern end of this beach, there's a beach you have to pay for, but this side is a free public beach. After an interesting evening on the beach, getting eaten by mosquitoes, having a metal table fall on my face, Graham kept hitting his head on our rooftop tent because it's a little lower on our new setup than what it used to be. He's not used to it. So it was an interesting evening. The beach was awesome. Enjoyed it. Sand everywhere. We'll be getting sand out for weeks. And today we're headed into Galveston to enjoy what this city has to offer. Our first stop is going to be the Galveston Historic Seaport Museum, and I think our kids are gonna hang around and they're waiting for the historic pier to open, of course. We are about to explore the tall ship Alyssa, part of the Galveston Historic Seaport Museum. Pretty excited!
And there's now a competition between which one's going to get to be the next named storm, because there's one in the Atlantic and one in the Bay of Campeche that is trying to form as well. So sometime over the next couple of days to weeks, we're going to have another storm in the Atlantic. Now, the way you tell the difference between sharks and dolphins is actually pretty easy. We start to get a little bit closer to them. If these are sharks, we're going to hear theme music. That's scientifically proven. I learned it on a documentary. It was called Yaws. But we're pretty close to them, and I don't hear anything. So these must be dolphins. You are correct.
Well, we are here at Earl Williamson Park. It's a city park in Oil City, Louisiana. City is kind of a loose term for where we are. Sorry, it's a parish park, not a city park. And it's $12 a night camping for full hookup, $6 a night primitive, but the primitive sites are really primitive and kind of overgrown at this point. And there's a playground and a swimming beach for day use, a bathhouse, although the showers don't work. What else? Here's a boat dock and some fishing piers. It's really a pleasant place that we've chosen to stop at. But you might be thinking, like, wait, didn't you start out going across the Gulf Coast? And you would be correct. And you might also be thinking, what the heck is on her face? Well, It's a long story that you're all about to hear. Right, Graham?
Yep.
So we made it to Galveston, got to the beach, right? Brazoria County Beach, public beach with free beach camping. It was a beautiful afternoon. Place was packed. I think we have some video footage of that. We all played in the surf that afternoon and then came back to camp.
And as the sun went down, the bugs came out. The bugs came out, and we realized that we were covered in sand. And when I say the bugs came out, the bugs came out. Like, we're from the Ozarks, and it's hot and humid and lots of mosquitoes there, but our mosquitoes play by the rules, and if you spray yourself with 2 layers of 2 different kinds of bug spray and have citronella all over the place, they'll leave you alone. These mosquitoes did not play by the rules. They attacked all of us voraciously. Graham
Through our shirts.
Graham got the worst of it, right? Through our shirts, as he said, like through our clothing. And like I said, we were using 2 different kinds of bug spray. I had tiki torches burning citronella. I had a thermocell going. So we had different levels of things going on. They couldn't care less. All right, so we all scurried into our tents for the night, called it a night. We'll start over tomorrow. If any of you have been following along, so that's a new set of tires on day 1. By day 2, we'd figured out we'd left some very important things at home, so we had to make another stop. The end of day 2, we get eaten up alive by mosquitoes. We're covered in sand. We're on the beach, so there's no showers. We're also hot, uncomfortable, and bug infested that we can barely sleep. A storm across the Gulf that kind of woke me up. It never came to Galveston, but I could see the lightning, and I'm kind of paranoid about it, so I couldn't sleep. At some point I get up, went to the bed of the truck, got up the next morning, determined to make the best of it. We have to break camp. We get that done. We decide to kind of split up. Graham and I were kind of more interested in the Seaport Museum and toured the tall ship Alyssa. Then we went on a harbor tour, like a 45-minute harbor tour. That was beautiful because it was shady and windy. It was so pleasant. I highly recommend the 45-minute historic harbor tours there. If you go, it's well worth the $10 we paid for it or whatever. While we were on the tour, he took us into where all the fishing boats are and was telling us about each of the different kinds of fishing boats, and that the fish come straight off a boat and go into this local fish market, and this seafood restaurant that was right next door buys fish and like cooks it the same day. We decided to eat there for lunch. That was Katie's Seafood House. I don't know if the tour guide got kickbacks from talking up Katie's Seafood House, but he was not wrong about it. It was delicious. Everything we ordered was delicious. We had shrimp nachos. One of us had the seafood quesadillas, Bam Bam shrimp, which, oh my gosh, it looked delicious, and then fish tacos, and I don't think any of us were disappointed. It was so delicious. But it was unbearably hot, right? And we hadn't had a shower, and we were covered in sand, and we were still itching from all these bug bites. So we decided our original plan was not going to work because none of us really wanted to go back to the beach and spend another night there. So we decided to backtrack a little bit, and I booked us a site at Brazos Bend State Park because we knew they would have a shower house. That is a beautiful park. It seemed like there was so much to do. I was sad that we were only there overnight, except for the fact that, again, in June, not recommend because it was so buggy, and I am not just talking about mosquitoes, like gnats that would come at your face constantly. You really need like a mosquito net or something to enjoy yourself. And again, we had layers of things going, but at least we all got showered that night, which helped. It's definitely the place you want to go if you want to see and hear wildlife, because we saw, just in the short time we were there, which was just overnight, we saw like 8 or 9 deer, a raccoon, lots of squirrels. We heard owls. The owls were going all night, which was kind of neat. I enjoyed it anyway. Some people might like it. Graham, what did you think?
I loved it. Yeah.
And there's a big gator on the sign, so I'm assuming that in some of the lakes that they have posted no swimming. There are gators there that you could see. Oh, they have observation tours. So it looks like there's a lot going on at that park, and I might be tempted to go back in the fall for a visit there because it was a really pretty place. We've decided to not tempt fate, since everything that can go wrong seems to be going wrong on this trip, and change our plans and maybe find something more enjoyable to do. So we've canceled all of our reservations for New Orleans, for Mobile, for Biloxi, for Pensacola, because, like I said, it's too hot to enjoy ourselves. We're covered in by so many bites. We look like we have the pox, all of us, and there is a tropical storm brewing. So we don't want to tempt fate. Our one day in Galveston, I was pretty impressed with the city. Oh yeah, we watched the historic films at Pier 21. They have 2 short films you can watch. One about the Great Storm that destroyed Galveston in 1900, and the other one about the pirate Jean Lafitte and his association with the area. It was a nice way to cool off in the middle of the day. We really wanted to go, well, I really wanted to go down to the Strand of the historic district, but it was too freaking hot to walk anywhere. I mean, we're used to hot weather where we live. It's miserably hot, especially when you're unshowered and covered in sand and walking around with a black eye on top of it. We decided to sort of start heading home. We're here for the night and we're driving home tomorrow. Then we're going to regroup, figure out something to do with the rest of Graham's vacation days here. We've had Mexican food down the road. We've had a nice swim in the lake to cool down. We've got our shower tent set up. So even though this place doesn't have showers, we do. We have lots of shade. So Tony, are you glad you came camping with us this little time?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
I think the highs definitely outweigh the lows, and even when it's low, it still beats just sitting around the house.
That's
Right?
true. You guys haven't been out a lot in the past couple years, have you?
Yeah,
You're kind of
definitely.
stuck going to school and working.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
I think we're glad we came.
We'll see if you take us up again on an offer.